Okay. Welcome everyone. This is our this part is just for patrons. Oh no, I have armpit stains.
Can they see that? Or should we explain to them what happened?
Sweaty armpit stains. Oh,
It's actually pretty hot today.
It's a perk.
It's actually
That's what he tells you when he puts his armpits in your face. It's a perk.
I don't wear antiperspirant deodorant in my day-to-day use. I will for shows, but
What kind of deodorant do you wear?
like a
Any
like a
deodorant?
natural deodorant, of course. Of course I wear
It's
a
not.
deodorant.
It's not antiperspirant though.
No.
So, wait. So you just sweat through it? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean
here's the thing.
basically, yes.
I've got an antiperspirant, but I still sweat all the time. Is that what's going on with that?
Well,
It's not
well,
really
well,
good.
are you putting the antiperspirant all over your body? Because it only works on the armpits.
Well, I rub it on my face at least.
Well, when we do
Like,
makeup, that also has antiperspirant stuff in it too. But no,
Does it really?
I avoid it because aluminum. I avoid the antiperspirant because it's been linked to breast cancer and stuff, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
and I just figured the less that I have of it, I already put tons of aluminum on my face for makeup. I'm like, I'll just eliminate some of that from my life.
I tried a natural deodorant once, and it broke out in like just the worst rash ever.
Oh no!
It took me a while to
And then
find
it
mine.
scared me. It scared me too much to try it again.
If any, I'll point anyone in the direction I found my favorite. Yep, and I use it exclusively. I do use antiperspirant for shows when it's like I know it's gonna be hot. Like I don't care. I'll take the link to cancer. It's worth it. But yeah, no, because when I'm hiking and stuff, I wear all those shirts that are meant for hiking, the UV protected ones. So, and then they're like that material that wicks it away. So like it doesn't matter if I sweat because it's just.
So you're just like leaving a trail of sweat behind you? Just
Well, no, like if I wear
Up and
cotton like this, of course I'm gonna get a wet armpit stain because it's just cotton on there. But the sweat doesn't smell because I still have deodorant on. It's just not blocking the sweat glands like.
You're in for a treat
antiperspirant.
today, fam.
This is the
David's getting into.
This is the bonus. This is
Getting
the
into
bonus
detail
content.
about his sweaty armpits.
This is the bonus content. This is not. Have you heard the Bennettarium theme song? That's the golden rule.
All the sweaty armpits that you can handle, yeah, on the Bennettarium.
Look, I'm not preaching. Someone was like, David,
No,
tell me
it's
about your
good.
deodorant. And I just had to speak
I'm
it up.
happy for you and your healthy deodorizing.
I'm not the only one
routine.
that doesn't wear antiperspirant
first
deodorant.
one I've ever heard of.
What? Gavin,
Like I said, I tried, and it
really
gave me
depends on what the activity is. I don't
I
want
got
to
like
wear
this
it for.
big red
Yeah.
bumpy rash up my arm. I was like, "What happened? What happened?"
No, I mean I get it if I had a front-facing job and stuff like that. I would, because look, I don't. I've had people point out in streams before, and I'm like,
Wait, point out what?
my armpit sweat.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, but it's not like I'm sweating all day. I'm sweating because I'm on a stream with lights on me, and it's hot because I'm singing. Like it's not on my day-to-day life. I don't have this gross armpits all day.
Oh, what if you wore a black shirt?
This is black. It's a faded black
not
shirt.
black.
It's yes,
Oh gosh, this is like from the previous podcast.
Shade of gray. I'd say it's a dark, smoky gray.
no, it's just a very well worn black shirt. It's like probably 10 years or more older. You know, I still have T-shirts from middle school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I do too,
still
but
wear
I
'em?
don't think
Yes.
I wear them.
Wow.
I mean,
I've
some
got
of
a
them
PE
have
shirt
like
from
start
school.
getting holes in them, but I still wear them until they're like, because that's a laundry
How
day
tall
shirt.
were you in middle school?
He's actually
Like
shrank.
the same-
He was
the same height?
tall in middle school.
No, like
He's
seventh
been
grade. At one
shrinking
point,
continuously since.
at one point, Bunny and our best friend were taller than me. Like we kind of grew like this.
Oh.
And we eventually evened out, and we were all roughly the same height. But yeah,
Was it?
Well, until David had that growth spurt, and now he's like 50 stories tall. Breathing fire. His
honestly,
sky.
this is
Wait,
better than
wait.
the Bennettarium. This chat
Wait.
right here.
did the power dynamic shift? Like whoever was taller, you're like, oh no, like, oh no, they can beat me up.
Well, I think
Oh, you were talking out loud, weren't you?
I feel like I have memories of like of stuff that I even had some like boxers from like middle school, if you can believe that.
What? You should probably.
away.
I did. I said I did. I didn't say I still. Like at least 5 some odd years ago, I was like, I don't wear these. I should throw them away. I'm not a hoarder. I just didn't wear them enough that they got damaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember your first pair of boxers? You remember what was on them? Because I do. I had a Batman boxers.
They were
Anyone else
probably
have Batman
they were
boxers?
plaid.
They were
I don't
dope.
think I had any.
I think I had
graphic
plaid.
ones.
They were blue.
Yeah, it's just whatever our parents got. It wasn't very
Mine were
creative.
Batman. It's better. It's better than plaid.
I don't think we can cut this Bennettarium down. This is
What?
This,
No,
this
yes we
is too-
can. This
This is too much choice content for.
Well, whatever. We'll see if the benevolent 11 people watching will gift this to the world, or if this stays exclusive. We'll take a vote. We'll take a vote on the.
Can we do
at the
the
end.
Can we do the intro song? But like we trade off like
Wait,
each
what
one
do
of
you?
us says a word.
Wait, we can eat. I literally like
What?
down
I'm sorry, what?
to Ripple protein drink because I was like, well, this is all I have.
Wait, we
time
can
for.
eat?
Can we?
No, we're not eating. We're not eating in the Bennettarium.
I ate a bar. I'm starving.
Nobody's eating here, so calm down.
No one would do that. That would immortalize the act of eating.
Now that I
in
saw
the
Bryan eat,
podcast.
I want to eat.
I'm not eating.
I'm gonna go eat.
How's it going, podcast listeners? Are you on your way to work listening to this? You got some McDonald's or a donut?
They're not allowed to eat either.
Okay, I'm not gonna eat. I'm just gonna drink another protein drink. I want to make sure I have diarrhea in half an hour.
Then you'll really need those extra boxes.
Oh, I hate this one. This is not good.
Why are you drinking it?
Because I
then?
have a whole box of them and I need to.
What flavor is it?
This is from Owen. It's the only what you need drink. It's a non-dairy.
Okay, everyone else is drinking stuff. I'm
protein
gonna go
drink.
get something.
But I thought, oh, the chocolate and vanilla is probably good, but this is a new flavor. I should try that first and see if I like it. And the
What
flavor
is it?
was sea salted caramel, and it's so damn sweet. I feel like I'm drinking candy, but it also has that monk. Not is it monk fruit? No. It's it's that monk fruit extract, and that kind of tastes like stevia to me. Just not.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of chemically, even though it's all not chemically. So I don't like that
Monk
taste.
fruit, monk fish, are those the same type of things?
I don't think so.
with that?
I don't think so.
I got a Soylent chocolate.
Didn't mean to shoot your bit down though. Continue.
Was it because were you saying how you didn't like the new formula for Soylent?
No, I've said that on the podcast plenty of times.
I wasn't here.
No, because let's see, Chelsea with her dad, they're gonna go grain free because her dad has been doing that every few years or so, and he says he feels amazing when he does grain free. And then she wanted to do it, and I was like, well, we live together; it'd be easier if I just do it too. And I'm like Mr. Stubborn, so like I know I'm gonna win if there's a contest because
What has grain in it?
Everything.
Does
Everything
this have
that's
grain,
not
does
like
this have
meat.
grain in it?
I think so. Yes, I think
Probably,
so. It
yeah.
does.
It would make sense if it did.
So basically, we're not doing like the keto thing, but we're doing grain free, which is slightly easier. But you can totally, if you need like a protein bar, just look up keto friendly stuff because that's already has
Grain-free.
grain free. So, which is fine for me because most of my grain free stuff was like frozen meals and Orgain. That was the protein drink I drank, which had rice syrup, which I guess is such a small amount, but still, it's still a grain.
I don't see anything that looks like.
Basically anything that's wheat.
All right, let's read off all the ingredients:
Anyways, I don't like soy, so it doesn't matter, and I don't like this either.
Distilled
But I'm
water.
drinking it.
soy protein isolate, maltodextrin, high hyolic,
I guessed it.
sunflower oil.
Does your steak
Sunflower
have,
oil?
have
Is that
things
grain?
you can't pronounce, like
No, that's a seed.
mycofactory spiral oil?
Well, this is I'm just bad. I have bad eyesight.
I don't know.
Allulose.
Usually they would advertise grain.
Canola oil, is that a grain?
Nope, that's a flour.
Cocoa powder.
You're still good.
Natural flavors. Soluble corn fiber.
Corn's and
There
everything.
it is.
That's what gives it the heft. That gives it that syrupy taste.
Let's read off my LaCroix ingredients. Only carbonated water, natural essence, static, and rat poison. That's it.
That's it.
Only 4 items. And you can pronounce every one of them, which means it's good for you.
The patrons,
Sorry, go
are loving this content. They said just get rid of the Bennettarium. Just talk about ingredients.
I'm telling you, the pre-show content. This is the show.
yeah.
So the chat's also saying Soylent. Oh, that came out the year that Soylent Green takes place. The movie. You don't even know nothing because they made Soylent Green finally.
it's true. It was one of their marketing things I saw on the internet.
Is it?
I was curious. I hadn't tried
Is it good?
I don't know.
Does it taste like people?
They're definitely like leaning into that a little bit.
Are you eating ice cream?
No.
I'm just guessing.
No.
You're eating fettuccine alfredo. It was really white, so I was
No.
like, "What are you eating?"
Potatoes.
Oh, that's pretty. That's
pretty good.
That's better than this liquid food.
Okay, each one of us will sing a syllable of the Bennettarium
Oh,
song. We
boy,
gotta
this
keep
is
it
gonna be-
rotating.
Who's starting in what direction?
Yeah.
We'll start with me and we'll go clockwise. Wait,
Okay.
I don't know where I'm at.
Are
on
we,
your
are we
setup.
all clockwise? So wait,
It would be me,
David, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
me, David, Brian.
Me, David, Brian.
One syllable?
Got it. David, Brian.
One syllable.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Oh, shit. I already screwed up.
okay. How about one word?
Okay,
That
that's
might be a
easier.
little easier.
I didn't know
yeah.
if you were saying. I don't know how many syllables.
Okay, here we go. Wait, am I on the right?
Easy
key?
mode. Easy mode
Okay.
intro song.
Whatever key you choose is the right key.
Yeah.
It's
Pod.
podcast is a fun word.
Podcast.
Wow.
Okay,
This
one
is
more
gonna be
time.
great.
It's
A
Podcast.
from
steam.
Powered.
Giraffe
It's
The
Bennettarium.
oh
boy.
yeah.
We've
Got
Things
happening
here
at
the
hopping.
Bennettarium.
oh
Man,
It's
the
Bennettarium
and
it's
starting.
right.
Mao.
That was not so bad.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
terrible.
welcome to the Bennettarium. We finally did a
Is
theme
this where
song.
we're cutting it, or is this?
No,
are we-
we're leaving
right.
it all in.
See you guys later. Great Bennettarium, everybody.
now that 20 minutes has passed. Okay, so yeah, the pre-show is going to be exclusive for patrons, but the 10 people who showed up to watch they decreed the rest of you serfs and peons can listen
insane.
to that part. No, I don't know. Do we need to take a vote? It seems like they're all.
The first 8 minutes of the podcast. we got this. It's already in the bag. Now we just need another 8 minutes, and then another 8 minutes,
Well,
and then another 8
that's
minutes.
how. Someday we'll get like guests on, and we'll be like, no, we won't.
Hi, I'm Isabella Bunny Bennett, and I play Rabbit the robot, and Gigi the Giraffe, and McClintock Battle Butt, the best World War I fighting robot.
And my name's David Michael Bennett, and I play the Spine and Gigi the Giraffe. I got a nice glottal there with the protein shake.
My name is Brian Barber, and I play Zero. And Rex Moxley, look at me, I'm Rex Moxley. Bang, 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 look at boosh.
Yeah, just like in the song.
What? What?
I'm Rex Moxley, but look at the boo, 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 boo.
Well, I
And
hope you
gloves.
enjoyed this year's one of 4 Bennettariums.
Remember when we used to do it every week?
Yeah, because we're
No.
trying to hone something, but we didn't hone anything. It was like we know how to talk into a microphone, so there wasn't really much else to do, and we don't have a structure to the show. So
Well, we actually have a little bit of structure. And now for the game zone.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
What's everyone playing today? Or not today, but just in general.
Nothing
Chelsea
good.
and I started some No Man's Sky.
Oh, nice.
We log in every few updates just to take a look, and then we burn out on the grind. But yeah, no, it's enjoyable when you're playing with other people.
Yeah. I'm playing through Ghost of Tsushima again because I've got nothing else to play, and it's so calming.
How many times have you
and
played it through on the
relaxing.
PS5?
This is my second time playing through it on the PS5.
Have you done
But
the DLC? Did you get that?
Iki? Yeah.
Yeah, you got that?
Yeah, I went through that as well. So I don't know. It's just like a very calming game to me. I could just sit there and walk through the fields and like listen to nature all day. It's nice.
Did you use any of the masks from the Iki Island? Because I was like, I think Jin went a little crazy, and now he wears a cat mask.
A cat mask?
Yeah, and I was like, he's like, I'm a superhero now. That's how I played him, anyways.
Yeah.
He does go a little crazy in that DLC. Spoilers.
I think I've got the ancient, like the monkey mask on him.
Yeah, no monkey for me, cat.
Oh my!
I know I'm just putting a big detour, but I was getting out of one of those automatic car washes today, and
there was a cat.
No. So we'll
There
get
was
to
a
you,
Ghost of
bunny. I know you're
Tsushima?
playing some amazing games, but
a monkey.
yeah.
Was there a
So
monkey?
it was one of those utility vans, and it had plastic. What are you eating?
Whoa.
We're just too many detours. I want to talk about what Brian's eating, but also about this car that was in front of me. Anyways,
Explain to me.
okay. For those of you who don't know, there's a video, and you can totally see Brian eating every once in a while.
I'm not eating.
Anyways, and he's gonna gaslight the whole podcast like he did last podcast with the Christmas tree. So some utility van, and it was Monkey Brakes, something like that. I'm intentionally getting the name wrong because I don't want anyone to find this company. But and then it was like mobile brake thing, and it was like this stylized gorilla, and it wasn't done terribly. And then it had realistic like holding a brake and a torque wrench probably, and then it was like, we don't monkey around, and I'm like, but that's a gorilla, so
I mean, technically they're not wrong.
yes, but see, it's not clever in any way, so therefore I'm like,
But is it clever?
their name is
telling
called
you?
Monkey Break something, so
I know, and they have a gorilla. They don't monkey around because they gorilla around the apes.
I
Very different.
That's what
I
I did
think
have
they know
that thought
exactly what
initially,
they're doing.
but I did shake my head a little bit because I'm like, but this is not clever. Like no one, because anyone could make that extra thought, but you didn't like give us the push.
All right. Well, what if it was like what if they had like a pelican on top of their car? Like, we don't monkey around. Here's a pelican. Is that more clever?
I mean, maybe there's a dead monkey and a pelican standing on its
If you go
corpse.
to if you go to their Yelp reviews, it's nothing but the service was great, but their joke on their van was terrible.
Do they not know a gorilla is not a monkey? Disgusting.
Hey, look, all I know is they have a 2-year warranty and 24,000 miles. I don't know which one comes first because it had an asterisk
What?
at the end, but there was no like what the asterisk meant anywhere in the car. So
They have 24,000 miles. What does that mean? Like they own 20? Like they've
like if
driven
the brakes
24,000
fail,
miles?
there's a warranty on it.
Oh, okay, that makes.
Did I
more
not say
sense
warranty?
to
Sorry, I
me.
don't know.
I forgot what kind of company this was. Like I guess I thought it was a window company. All of a sudden, I got distracted by the monkey part. So, but yeah, I need some new brakes. You know why? Because I got old brakes and they're squeaky. So like everywhere, I mean, if I'm going forward and I brake, it squeaks. If I go backwards and I brake, it squeaks. And then everyone comes to my window and they said, "Hey, your brakes are squeaky. You need new brakes." I said, "No, I just got the brakes. They're just squeaky. I'm sorry."
Yeah, sometimes they put new ones on and they squeak. I've definitely heard that in cars before.
Yeah, it's the worst. And everyone thinks that I'm the fool because my brakes aren't working, but they are. They're just squeaky. And I don't know if I can get some WD-40 down there.
You just need to start
but-
braking a lot more and wear them in. Yes.
Or get some oranges to throw at people who
That's what I'm
start talking
thinking.
to you.
Wait, did the podcast start
Don't come to
already?
my car.
I don't remember if the podcast is going or not.
Well, we sang
yeah,
the-
we got a
sang the song.
little sidetracked. Yeah, I've been playing Outriders.
Oh yeah, you're talking about games.
I'm waiting for that World Slayer on June 30th. My build is I'm up to like 42 right now. I'm a Technomancer, doing great, running expeditions, getting my legendary. Got two of my set already. Life is good.
Keith Park from one of our patrons says you can have the rotors resurfaced, Brian, and that will get rid of the squeakiness. It's because there is rust on your rotors, most likely.
Rust.
I knew there would be a.
Does that sound like a good song? Does that sound like a good song?
Yeah.
Rust on my rotors.
Rust on my.
There was rust on my rotors and dirt on my butt, and everyone said, "Do do do do."
And that's why you don't have wheels anymore. I tried to play a little bit of Outriders because I got it for a pretty good discount, but man, I'm not into that story, and
Oh, the story gets so good. Nah, you don't even know.
I just
It's
it's
just
just
stick with it. It's okay. You got to play baby games. Like, what game were you playing?
I was playing No Man's Sky for like
No Man's Sky, baby game.
I just
Wait, do you have a cool place that we can go visit? Can we go visit you in No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
You build anything cool?
Yeah, is there cool
No,
stuff?
nothing. We found a good planet that Chelsea and I both liked, and we put a base down. But we haven't built anything cool.
Oh,
We just kind of explore, try to
that's
upgrade
pretty
our
much all I've
freighters
ever
and
done too.
frigates.
That's cool.
We play it pretty casually. I don't. I'm not doing any expeditions.
Beautiful game.
I have a question. How do you... Because I know you can make a base, but considering there's so many planets and stuff, like, you just keep
how do you
making bases
refine
on different planets and
You
stuff?
can
Like,
if you
how does
want.
that...
If you want,
Or
yeah.
you just sit on your one planet and don't do anything and just...
Well, it depends on what you're making, because some materials only appear in certain colored star systems. So, if you want emerald or
It's a lot of work.
you just jump to another star system over and come back, and you can. And since with teleporter, you can teleport to your base like anytime you want.
Yeah, I think I made a teleporter
Um,
on my planet.
but I don't really stay too much in one location. It's an option, and some people will set up like farms for animals or
Did you see the space whales?
stuff. No, haven't
They added space
haven't
whales.
encountered one yet.
When they said space whales were coming, I'm like, I know someone who likes space whales.
But no, I haven't encountered one, and I don't want to do the expedition because it's like a permadeath one, and you lose progress, and I don't have that kind of time to waste 8 hours and have to start all over again.
But you played EVE Online. You're accustomed to that.
Yeah.
Do you still play that one?
No,
No. What about what's the other one?
Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
No.
Is that one still going on?
It is, but it slightly gets just disappointing updates after updates, so I'm done with that one too.
Well,
You can finally walk outside
Oh.
of your ship, and it's not good.
what about that new one that's coming out? The one that's been in
Star
production
Citizen?
forever.
Yeah, that's not coming out.
Star Citizen. I know. I bought a pack many years ago.
Yeah, I put $30 in to play the beta or whatever it was, or whatever they have right
You
now.
can walk around the town, and you're like, "Yep, this is."
But yeah, no,
Damn.
that's never coming out. Yeah. But no, hey, if we're talking about games, I don't really play mobile games, but I'm slightly interested in Diablo Immortal because I'm a big Diablo person.
Oh heck yeah!
But when I say
it's
big
coming to
Diablo
PC
person,
as well. Huh?
any listeners out there should just know I'm not a big Diablo person because I don't do any of the I don't have the time to play Diablo the way most people play Diablo.
You've done seasons and stuff.
Yeah,
before,
but
right?
I stop at like whatever the season journey 4 is or 5.
You just
sometimes.
once you get the armor and the
And then
stuff,
I'll go a
you're
little
done.
bit more, but I don't have time to grind away and try to
that's
do the set dungeons, and I can't do any of that. I mean, I have a little bit in the past, but I don't have the time for that. And I have other games to play. I have to play. I just finished Days Gone. I wish I hadn't. I mean, it's
What?
okay. It's just there's so many. There's games that have done it better, and I'm not a big zombie fan.
Yeah.
I mean, the horde mechanic is like it just got.
Well, once you get a good gun, you're like, all right, well, this is very easy. But the first couple times you play a horde, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. Then you get.
I'm
kinda
taken
bored.
out by the technical meh and the story meh. Like
the
it's
story
hard.
was
It's
really
hard.
rough.
It's hard going from. And granted, all games have bugs and stuff, but it's like going from something like Ghost of Tsushima or Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff like that. Like there's just a quality that I know you can only get from that kind of studio, but then you look at like some of the indie stuff and you're like, well, why aren't you just paring it down a little more to get like something that's more accessible? Because it's like it's hard to play those games that just don't meet the basic expectation that people have, and I feel like I enjoy lots of different things. Like I don't need an open world game to be happy, but I don't know. Then you have
Breath
Ubisoft
of the
and
Wild
stuff,
2 coming out.
Is it really? Are you lying?
No,
You-
it's
you-
but
you
it's been
fooling?
coming out for like a year or two.
Yeah, it's
They
all right.
announced it
It's
quite
all
a
Like
long
open
time ago.
world game. I haven't even beaten the first one. I'm not a big Nintendo fan.
I got about halfway through. It's okay. I mean, it's what it's doing is great, especially on a Switch. But
I couldn't get over some mountains and I gave up. I'm like, well, I need to go up there, but I'm down here.
I'll probably
Can't get up there.
I'll probably
so I
pick
guess
it
I'll
up again.
uninstall the game.
I'm not a big mobile player with like taking my handheld around, and it's only the resolution of the Switch on a TV is not good, and so it turns me off from. I guess I'm one of those people who is very, you know, I don't want to. I am about good frame rates and good. But I mean, if it's a game that is like dug into that kind of style, of course, like, you know, two-dimensional pixel stuff, that makes sense to me. But
Kindy asks, "What's that vampire game you've been playing, Bunny?" Actually, I've been playing 2 vampire games. It's the year of a vampire, apparently.
Diablo-ish one. Is that one of them?
There's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is a battle royale set in Prague. That one's pretty fun, but it's pretty basic. There's not much to it. But I did play a lot of that, and that was once you get into the swing of it, it feels fast.
Is the other one V? Is it something called V?
The other one's called V Rising. It's an isometric. I guess it's kind of like Age of Conan or Rust, a little bit. Yeah, and it's isometric, and you play as a vampire, and you have to build like a little castle and avoid the sunlight. It's pretty fun. We made our own server. Here. With 10 players that can join. So if you're looking for a game to play, V Rising, and we have an extra server or a server on our Discord. Not the Steam Power Draft Discord, though. Here, I'll post the link in for you patrons. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's like all those other games. It has a cool like blood mechanic where you suck blood and then your blood pool goes up, and then with that blood you can choose what you want to do. Like, oh, I'll heal myself, or I'll present my neck to a friend so they can heal, or there's lots of different cool things. So
it looks interesting to me. It doesn't have controller support, so it's off the table. I can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it would be great if it came. It's probably eventually going to come, but it's still in early access.
The first thing I do with any game that I'm interested in is go look on forums and like, is there controller support? I'm like, well, it's not for me.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was like, and yeah, that it's not on a console either. I'm sure it will be, but like, it's
all early access kind of game.
Our server
looks like
our server has no castle decay, by the way, so your castle won't fall apart and people won't steal your stuff.
Okay, to end the game zone, there's upcoming video games coming up. Is there anything that you guys are looking forward to besides? I don't know.
God of War.
Whenever that's coming out by the end of the year, maybe.
Wait, what was the question? I was responding to chat.
Is there upcoming games you guys are looking forward to? Video games?
Oh yeah, The Quarry looks pretty good. But I'm kind of disappointed that they've pushed back the multiplayer aspect. It's kind of like one of those like Dark Pictures games, you know, where you're like, or Dark Anthology. I don't even know what they're called, but like, you help the characters and you vote on what they should do to survive this killer. So I'm like, that sounds fun.
What about you, Brian? God of War? Yeah. I'm definitely look forward more to the AAA stuff myself too, because there's plenty of like cool indie stuff but you never know when they're coming out because it's not like a big publisher's. They're coming out, so I just kind of like keep them on my Steam wish list, and I'm like, well, when it comes out, I'll play it.
What are you looking forward to? You didn't actually give us an answer. You just
Diablo Immortal comes out Thursday.
Right, Diablo Immortal.
I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the DLC for that. I'm gonna play it on PC because PC
better.
I want everything turned up all the way. I want 120 frames a second, and I do, and I will get it because it's a Switch port and it's not as intense as World. Maybe the new Saints Row, but the last 2 I was kind of lukewarm about.
Yeah.
3 was okay, and 2 was pretty good, but
this one seems like it's a big revamp of it.
Yeah, we'll see how the reviews go.
I'm also excited about Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, of course. Whenever that goes out.
Oh man, I know.
Because Venom.
Yeah, mainly because of Venom.
Venom.
I wonder if you're gonna be able to play as Venom. Probably not.
I mean, look, Tony Todd playing Venom is just like, that's heaven to me right there.
Who's Tony Todd?
Candyman.
Oh, from the original.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
We just watched that. We're catching up on all the Candyman movies.
I just watched the new one on Prime.
How was that
pretty-
one?
pretty
Yeah,
good.
cool.
Yeah. There's definitely like, I mean, you don't have to watch all the old ones. The first one's it
No.
pretty much just goes off the first one.
Yeah.
But there's some fun stuff in it.
First one's a little slow, surprisingly. I was like, we were watching it, like, wow, it's like Candyman doesn't show up a lot, but it's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's a cool premise. He's a pretty terrifying figure with the cloak
yeah.
for
His
a
voice
hand
is so perfect for
and the
for
bees.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was this.
They do a lot more of the. They dig into the lore of Candyman a little bit more,
Ooh.
which is interesting to me. So
Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
Big horror movie fan here.
Cinematography is pretty fantastic in it too. Sorry, and that's it.
Candyman too. Cool. And
There was
you
one
got
game that
something to say?
I did play more recently that I really was enjoying. It's called Hard Space Shipbreaker.
Oh man, I've been hearing about that. It's where you like deconstruct a ship in space.
Yeah. It's all like first person, and you have to like control you floating around, and you basically get like a spaceship that you just have to disassemble and recycle all the parts, and that's pretty much the game. And you'd think, but it has that kind of appeal of like something like a power wash simulator would, where it's very. But and they get more complicated where the ships are bigger, and sometimes you have to like take explosive materials out of them and store them and save valuable components that can't be broke down, throw stuff into the furnace. It
looks pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it's satisfying. I think that's the.
Does it feel good to like use your laser to cut things apart?
Yeah. Because and I'm playing on like super casual because there is like a mode where like you have to watch your oxygen and stuff like that. I'm like, no. I just want to float out there and take things apart. So it's nice that they have those options. They need multiplayer though. Multiplayer would be so cool. So that someone blows up the inside of a ship accidentally while you're trying to take apart something, that'd be great. So that one's in early access, I think. No, it's out of early access. It just came out on 1.0. So controller support. So that's why I'm playing it. It's good. I like it. But yeah, upcoming games. Forspoken's another one that I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, that one's taken a while to come out.
That's that Square Enix one.
Yeah, let's check that one out.
I mean, high hopes, I suppose, just because anything kind of fantasy. It's that modern person gets transported back in time, gets a magic glove, turns into a superhero.
Oh, like Outlander, that show. Well, this has been great. So many games to look forward to and
games
play.
are cool.
I really want a movie where like someone like an average person gets thrown back in time, and then like they're trying to explain everything. Like
It's called A Kid in King Arthur's Court and Black Knight.
well, yeah,
They're
but
very
like,
similar premised movies.
yeah, but they're both like hero movies where they like fight the thing. It's just like this guy's just failing the whole time, and eventually he just turns into like a beggar on the street, and he's like everyone laughs at him because he talks about all these things that he can't produce.
Actually, he just died. His story's over.
he dies of some sickness. He gets sick immediately. He's like, but penicillin. Like, what are you talking about? It's like,
He's not even the main star of the story. It's like a bunch of serfs and their family.
Yeah.
It just takes over there, and the whole rest of the movie for like an hour and 30 minutes is
While
just
he's
them.
just dying on the street.
We wanted to show this family's tale. It just so happens there was a time traveler that they encountered, but that was another story. Even though the poster has like the guy with like a big old sword, like
Yeah, like he's gonna be the hero.
he immediately goes back and he dies immediately because he gets sick.
If I ever have time, Bunny, I'll play Outriders with you because it's crossplay. So if you ever give, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm doing my
I'm like
second
level 10 and hating every minute of it.
What? Oh man, you got to play with
It's
a
so janky.
with a person. It's a little buggy,
but what I know is anything that's janky is way funnier with multiplayer.
yeah, it definitely changes. No, it can be a little. You definitely gotta go in there and just like.
I don't look at reviews, but like when I play in a game and then I see the reviews, I'm like, I see why this game is getting what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not all reviews.
Yeah, no.
Metacritic
Like when it
scores
first
and
came out,
stuff.
like the connection issues were so bad, I basically dropped it before.
Yeah,
but
there's no way to play.
Once they updated it, it was like, okay, now
it definitely
fine.
performs better than the demo when I played it back in the day, for
Yeah.
sure.
And the graphics aren't anything great. Like, not that it looks bad, but like obviously the people look like maybe like 3 or 4 years too old.
It's just,
You know.
your armor is just bulky. They didn't really work. Whatever. I don't want to.
There's a whole cosmetic system now.
I know. Yeah,
You gotta give it a chance. And onto that. On to that, we're gonna go to the steam powered giraffe question.
I was gonna get there. Okay. So we got some, for those of you out here who just have burning questions about steam powered giraffe that we can't answer, you too can submit questions to the Bennettarium each month, and then we'll answer them every other month, most of them. And if you're a $10 patron, I think you get access to that. Is that how it works? Yes, I'm forgetting our own tiers, but yeah. So this one comes from Sarah Meacham. Does Walter Manor have a swimming pool? Is a swimming pool available for everyone, including the bots, the Walter workers, etc.? Does the pool come with pool floaties or a water slide or a diving board? Has Rabbit tried to make slime or jello in the pool? How big is the pool? Or is it an interdimensional gateway to a water world with there's a lot of canon that's being written into this question.
Created here. I know.
Because we could literally say, no, none of that. But no, let me continue. I'm very curious, as I heard from a cousin of mine that folks who live in Southern California have pools, so I assume Walter Manor might have one since it's supposed to be in San Diego, which is in Southern California. I bet it makes the Walter workers happy to use it on hot day. Okay,
I'm sure. And it's indoors, I'm sure.
And also, I think Walter Manor is not technically in San Diego. I think we were putting it somewhere in...
It's in San Diego County.
What was it? Didn't we try to put it more towards Temecula, right?
No. It is in San Diego. We just don't specify where. It's very...
Maybe I'm just...
I think it's very rare. But yeah, I think you have the right idea. Like, it's very vague. And the start of the comic takes place in Escondido, but that's just where they were visiting.
Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
I was like, close to Temecula. That's not where I...
If I went through, I'd probably update some of those subtitles again, but, like, it's... Yeah. They'd probably have a pool inside, because, they're kind of a private family, and it kind of seems like, building a big old pool inside the manor is probably something some Victorian man would have done or something.
Some secret
1915 or whatever.
Secret room pool?
And then Zero drained it, turned it into a recording studio? That seems like...
Well, because the acoustics.
Well, there's also that giant fish tank. Remember there's that giant fish tank with floaty time in it?
Yeah, but you're not supposed to swim in it.
Okay, that's not for swimming. That's for fish.
As for the rest of the questions, that's all very inventive, but I don't...
It definitely sounds like something that could happen in, like, a cartoon or a side story. So yeah,
so easy to turn a pool into Jello if you've ever had a swimming pool. I'm just
are the robots? Will the robots start rusting and breaking down if they submerge themselves in water?
For
they
long
probably
enough,
can't float.
for sure.
So.
With chlorine.
There's like a little wading pool. Like it's just enough. It's just enough for them to feel included.
I suppose the robots would have to be airtight and something would have to be.
But we know they're not. Obviously,
they probably tested.
Well-built.
The space worked okay, but it's not like they were like floating around. So they maybe
were they actually in the? They weren't in the vacuum of space, were they? Oh, maybe.
Maybe for the second when they walked. It's just not. I'm sure
these are all great questions. Now, if Netflix gives us a cartoon, and then you'll. Oh wait, they fired all their.
We
were just watching BoJack Horseman. And I'm just thinking like. Man, it sucks because this is really good. This is a great show.
It's okay because Netflix is collapsing from the inside out, so it's fine. So people will move outside and they'll make things on the platforms. Yeah, it sucks, it's their fault.
I'm thinking it's going to become the Stranger Things channel. They're just going to set everything in the Stranger Things universe.
Go off.
Netflix is terrible, but also their Umbrella Academy season 3.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got some good shows.
That's coming out.
You're gonna want to catch them before Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can just watch it you can just have it for a month and then cut off the streaming.
That's
illegal to do. So just do that.
Next question is from Kindy. What is everyone's favorite treat? Okay, so I think this is for since it was an open-ended question. I'm gonna say this is for us, the three of us.
Yeah.
Cool. My favorite candy bar is Violet Crumble. It's from Australia. My favorite chip is...
Well, then you don't have one.
I don't really... I mean, I also don't snack too much, but like, if I'm gonna... those Frito Twisty things are pretty good. Not that they're good for you, but the honey barbecue, if you're looking for some junk food, those are pretty tasty.
What about you, Brian? What do you got?
I like the kettle salt and vinegar chips. Those are my that's my kind of chip right there.
But how many can you eat of those? Because I can eat like a handful, and then I'm like,
Oh
in my
man,
mouth.
I'm like I could have the whole thing and just and take a glass of vinegar with it.
Oh my god! and the inside of your mouth is just normal. It's not like
Yeah,
it's
fine.
not destroyed at all.
Yeah. Well, it's been destroyed many years ago, so it's just a callous husk in my mouth, so that I can eat these kettle chips.
I like the
without
taste. I
fail.
like the texture. I like everything about it, except for when you eat too many.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Um,
And then I'm a
what
big fan of Mexican candy in general.
like
Anything.
Luca and stuff like that.
It's but like I prefer the stuff that's in like the tamarind, like something like the fruit bites and stuff like that. But it's still pretty much all Mexican candy is the same. It's just like different varieties of like what you're gonna put the spice over, and then you eat it. And it's
Um,
the tamarind. Sorry.
I like anything that's chocolate for like a dessert of some sort. But I'm not super big dessert person. But I would say a treat would be sushi all day. Even bad, not terrible sushi, but like even mediocre sushi is can be a treat sometimes.
We just had sushi and ramen last night.
Oh,
The pork belly. The
Oh,
pork belly was
yeah.
so good. One of those times you're just like, this is what ramen's all about. I had 2 slow eggs. I had just the pork belly. It was melting. Oh, tonkotsu.
But yeah, I don't really snack too often. I do snack a lot because I live with the Peniacs, and I do own more snacks now because I'm like, oh, they'll like this, that kind of mentality. So I do
also enjoy just a nice little Granny Smith apple. I like apples. For
You can't eat those. It's for a pie.
Yeah. Well, I don't like pie. So I eat the apples for myself.
Those are the green ones, right?
Yeah, the green ones. I mean, I like
Those are good. I
red
like
ones
those.
too. But here's the thing: like a lot of red ones depends on what you get. Red Delicious, Pink Lady. You have the opportunity of it being a mushy, mealy apple. And Granny Smith, that's a very rare occasion. So they're always pretty.
I like the tartness
go-to.
too. I'm a big
Me
fan of the
too.
green apple taste. It's pretty good.
Red tart cherries, dried red tart cherries. That's I'll drown myself in those.
Make me hungry.
As
Not
far
me.
I see some of the people in the chat also saying they like sushi. Someone likes Granny Smith
yeah.
apples. For sushi, I definitely like sushimi over anything. And I'm a big fan of eel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What about nigiri? Nigiri is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat most everything except for octopus because it's too smart.
Yeah, it is.
Which
true.
does feel weird when you're trying to like, I don't want to eat this thing because it's too intelligent. But an eel, on the other hand,
Well, what about the cute little fishy eels? Have you seen that viral picture of them in their little tube, and someone made it look like sushi?
Well, I have a conscience. If there's enough propaganda of some sort saying that it's bad to eat eels, I absolutely.
Oh
will
yeah,
not
it
eat eels.
actually they're not a sustainable creature because they're carnivores. They can't be raised in the they're not like farmed. They're caught and captured in their adolescence. So the moral yeah,
I guess I should
unfortunately.
just
eels.
not eat eel anymore.
I see that you like this thing, so here's some things.
Sorry,
They're also very sweet.
we literally just had sushi last night, and we were no one had eel, so I was trying to like they're freshwater, they're not salt. I was trying to like it's good, you can eat it, and then we realized they're not sustainable, and actually it's not very good.
It's like like my favorite. I might as well not even eat sushi. It's like the only thing
You shouldn't eat anything because every living
you're right, yeah.
creature has a sad story to tell you. But
Like I'm fine with like rice and avocado and stuff like that and cucumbers, but but at that point I'm like, well, I don't really need to eat sushi then.
Well, see, what I don't like about American sushi is that everything has cream cheese in it. Or some shit. I don't want cream cheese in
How
my
about me?
fish.
I don't want spicy mayo and everything. That's good.
Yeah,
on some
yeah.
they put it on like everything, and I'm like,
mayo.
spice is
I don't
not
like it that much
not an. You can't. That doesn't
just
make
a
up for
little bit
flavor.
of spicy mayo, I'm okay with.
I
Just
just
a
want
little
that-
bit.
Sweet, like soy sauce, wasabi. I just dip my fish right in there. I put it right on my tongue, and
If it's just raw fish, soy sauce will be good. But if it's like a sushi roll of any sort, the sushi it just ruins the flavor.
I don't
of it
mind
all,
cream
for me
cheese.
anyways.
I some of those decadent American rolls just get a little crazy. It's like, okay, like how did fish turn into
This
like this
baked-
giant
baked-
mountain
yeah.
of like crab and
I really like Saba mackerel. I had one of the best sushi experiences I've ever had was in Austin, Texas, which is random as heck. But it's like it's a really high rated sushi restaurant, and I had the mackerel there, and it was the most delicious fish I've ever tasted. And I've had mackerel other places, and it's not always hitting the mark because it's very cheap fish. But man, when it's good, it's perfect to me.
Poke is also a nice treat, which is
Ooh,
not too
baby.
far away. I usually get like an albacore, salmon, maybe shrimp on it.
Huh?
That's what I usually get.
I usually get salmon. It's good times.
Plus, if you're doing grain free, you can just get all salad, no rice. Usually I do half and half, but no.
I usually do the salad. Do you do? Wait, was this still to answer the question what we snack on?
Yeah.
It turned into
Can you tell we're
meals. All right. What's the next question?
Is everyone good? Everyone got that talk about food out of the system?
Quarter pounder with cheese.
What about ice creams? Yeah,
Yeah. The Ben and Jerry's. What's that one? I forget what it's called, but it's like peanut butter cookie something or other. It's really good. I don't remember what it's called, but there's one non-dairy one that's just like I could probably eat every day of my life, and I'd be okay.
Yeah, I eat that one too sometimes.
You know what?
Talenti gelato makes a great
John.
pistachio with actual pistachios in there, and it's like usually I'm like, oh, nut ice cream pistachio, but it's so good. It's so
I
smooth
like
and creamy.
the raspberry is my favorite.
Have you had the Talenti layers? It's like how can they?
Yeah.
How can they? It's so decadent.
The birthday cake one? Did you get the birthday cake one?
Maybe in the years past, but it's just my favorite thing about any of those kind of ice creams is when there's like every scoop is something different. That just I don't know why that just sells
the
me
layers.
anything. If I can just scoop in and there's a chocolate covered dinosaur in here. They don't make that one anymore. Ben & Jerry's. It's called Fossil Fuel. It's gone forever.
What?
Yeah.
No, you mean it's in the Ben and Jerry's graveyard, which they actually have?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, we're moving on from food to talk about.
This one is from Emily. If you were going to start a new hobby, what would you like to try? Okay, so let's just assume that this question is if your hobby had unlimited money or if you had the time to do it. So nothing ridiculous as like, well, I'd start collecting foreign sports cars. That's not really a hobby. Something more along the lines of, I would take up flying. I would learn how to fly. Like if you had a relatively enough amount of money to spend on doing that.
I think like maybe like definitely like there's always like instruments I'd love to sit down and learn, but like should have started on that a little earlier in life. But yeah, I think one of the things I've been watching this YouTuber and like I never thought that I was into this, but he does like sword fighting and stuff, and he talks about like how all the inaccuracies in movies and stuff and like in video games, and he'll actually like show how like, oh, this is how the Elden Ring sword should work or something. And I'm like, oh, so I do like weapons training, like swords and stuff and halberds, and that sounds really fun. I never would have considered it something that I would like, but like, it's so cool. Anyways, a Shadiversary is the guy I'm talking about. He's really cool. Shadiversary. He's like a big nerd. Check him out.
Big boy nerd. I think I want to take up drone piloting. I really have enjoyed a lot of the ways that you can capture events and like watching like the racetracks and how the drones like fly down underneath and like get those turns with you. Or like recently they had like a golf tournament. And they would like follow the golf ball like from the drive all the way out. Like that kind of stuff is really cool to me. Although I just judging by my racing skills in any video game, I'm gonna crash a lot. So it would be a very expensive hobby for me to have.
Have you seen Have you seen the bowling? There's a bowling lane advertisement that they did a drone shot for. It's like super choreographed. It's like it took them so many tries. So great.
So cool though. Like that's gonna change the way that movies are well, not movies in general, but like
when are we gonna get a drone for Steam Powered?
Well, you can't really fly them anywhere, and you have to get a permit and you have to get licensing for that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a professionals person's thing. Hobby. I mean, you could probably run and gun, go to a state park and just abandon their.
Well, if I had money, then I would get the permits for it.
Yeah, and then I would, or just have a big backyard that's big enough.
Or I could move to Florida where everything's legal and it's fine.
Everything's good. Oh yeah, I was gonna go down a dark.
Well, it's not fine, but everything's legal.
You just have your drone in your house, and it's a little limited on what it can do, but it'd still be pretty cool.
I don't have an answer for this
Drones.
question.
You don't?
I don't really want to play drones.
You don't have to.
I mean-
What's your hobby?
I mean, I've tried to
question
drone
wasn't,
before.
do you want
Get
to play
on my
drones?
hobby, all right?
Well, you know,
Leave
just
my
like,
hobby alone. I'll be
nothing's like-
here.
Do you want to come
my
and sword
phone.
fight with me?
I don't know. I don't want to do anything. I do enough stuff.
Well, just
What about
think
dog
of-
training?
Just think of
Professional dog
No.
hobby. Real quick. Just
dog showing.
one, out of the blue. Just what's the first hobby your
It's
brain
not that
can
I
come
wouldn't
up
go
with?
and do something. It's that
Apple picking.
I already have my time invested in so many other things. I don't really.
Apple picking.
I don't.
You guys
feel-
should, you should
if
be
I
apple
would,
pickers.
I would
It's
hike
not a lot of
more
time.
maybe, but I don't want to go super extreme hiking. I just want to.
Well,
be
hold
outside
on. You,
hiking
you're,
more?
you're not even answering your own question. You said if there was a limited time and a limited money,
I was just.
what would be your
Yeah,
hobby?
for you guys.
Yeah,
you
for
guys
you
are
now.
listening to me.
Now you tell us what your hobby is.
Collecting foreign sports cars.
Oh, what a stupid thing! I hate that so much. I hate it. What a hobby that you have. How stupid. How does that
If you
feel?
have unlimited money and resources, then
I
you
don't
should
have a
just,
hobby.
You should just
Yeah.
bite the bullet and go into Warhammer.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Nothing.
Best hobby. It'll drain your bank account.
I don't know. But I feel like anyone can get into anything, but I don't have any drive to get into anything because I'm already. I don't know. That's
All right, David's
I
gonna
don't have,
collect.
I tried my hardest to think about this one, but I don't have anything
David's
that I'm
gonna
like.
collect Funko Pops. That's his new hobby.
I don't know.
The uglier, the better.
New hobby, buddy. Come on, you see
Only
the
the-
shelf. The shelf is stacked.
I'm not a collector either. You've seen. I
Well,
don't.
you play
What
with
about
them.
all those
but
brown boxes in the background? Those
That's
seem like-
merchandise.
Those are shoes. Those are Nike shoes.
Steam Powered Giraffe CDs.
every pop up shoe store, he has to get one. He doesn't open them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm just looking to be happy. I don't need a hobby.
That's not a hobby.
See, I don't. I do
the
the
chat has
things.
suggested David model.
That's a job. That's a career. When does a hobby turn into a career?
Okay,
I
next
feel a hobby
question.
is supposed to be like painting a model.
Yeah, building a ship. In a
Making
bottle.
wood furniture. Like
Being in a robot band.
I can
Wood etching.
appreciate any of that kind of stuff because I think everyone has like a taste of that stuff throughout their lives, and they're like, I want to do this more, but I don't really have. I don't really want to do any of that more.
Woodworking is pretty cool too. I like.
I feel like
woodworking.
I was gonna say, oh, I'd like to sculpt more because I remember having a lot of fun sculpting, but like then I'm like, but I've had years to do sculpting, and I would have done it by now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But you're missing the point. It's just for fun. If it sounds fun, do
But
it.
I already
It's
do
just
things for fun. And usually it's video games, but then I feel like that's not even a hobby because some people play
is a hobby.
so many more hours than I do. But not that I'm comparing myself, but it does feel like when I'm talking on a podcast to other people who most likely are more of a gamer than I am. But in my circle, I'm more of a gamer to some people. So,
Take that.
but I'm just
Modeling, everything
Yeah.
could be a hobby if you make it a hobby.
yeah. I mean,
And on
Steam
that
Powered
note,
Giraffe
our
was a
next
hobby.
question. Our next question.
a
It was
hobby.
kind of a hobby when it started out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rabbit. This is from Afrail. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Rabbit. What kind of melodica do you prefer? So I'm.
What kind of melodica? Well, we've only used one type of or one brand. I think that's Honer, and I think is it still packed away? It must be because I don't see it here. But I have a red. I think it's the Jubilee edition of the Honer melodica. It's red with black and red keys. It's really cool. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Honer. They're like the go-to for melodicas, and there's a lot of cool ones. In fact, I don't know. I should probably check them out more recently. Maybe it's time for an upgrade eventually, because the one we have has been pretty old. It's probably a little rusted, but still looks good.
Are you able to take those apart? It's not like a trumpet where you can just take
We
everything
we
apart.
try we did the one that was from the 70s. You remember we had like the old one
Instead of
that we
buying a new
started.
one, we were like, let's. Fix
It was
this
just
one.
you could see all the reeds were like rusted and stuff.
Yeah.
I still have that one, I think, packed away somewhere, so we can put it in the Steam Powered Giraffe Museum. But
And
Yeah.
then and one person can come to it a month, and we'll go bankrupt. 'Cause we
Melodica-
can't afford the rent.
the museum's just in one of our houses, obviously. And it's
One
just-
ticket,
yeah.
$4,000 to foot the bill for the rent of this museum.
But yeah, melodica is a great instrument if you're looking for maybe doing piano or you want to it's a little bit of a wind instrument, and it's a piano. They usually come with a long tube, so you can look at the keys while you're playing. In fact, we like the look of that so much. That's just how I play the melodica, because it's fun with the big old tube coming out. It looks like something from Dr. Seuss. So yeah, melodica.
Let's see. We don't have to wait for Bryan to be back. I'm sure he will. Oh, he'll miss this question. I don't know if it's relevant.
Getting more potatoes.
I haven't pre-screened this one in particular. Walkit asks, time, money, space, and any other blockade I missed, looking at you, David, aside, what's something something you each would want to add to the stage shows when they come back?
Oh, man.
And might I add, if they come back. No, sorry. Sorry.
No.
I just like throwing wrenches into people's hopes and dreams.
Flames. I want fire, like the Wizard of Oz fire. Like every time something happens, just like on the side of the stage.
So
like,
pyrotechnics. You want all the pyrotechnics. I
and,
will
like,
say,
smoke comes through.
anytime I've seen video of a concert, and the one concert that I went to that used fire, it is pretty cool, and it does.
It's super cool. Just super cool.
Money.
Can you imagine playing fire, and then behind you, all the fire just like goes.
I would never want to do it because all those horrible tragedies.
There's plenty of bands that are still doing
fire.
it. I hear Ghost uses fire for
Ghost
some of their last songs. So you don't have to. You just have to be. You have to be pretty popular. We're popular, but we're not super popular.
We're a pyrotechnic.
Let's hire a person to shoot flames for 300 people.
That'd be cool to have like a big Wizard of Oz type guy in the back. Maybe he's our new like MC.
It's just
he's
Bebop?
like Morlo demands a song. Like, all right, Morbo, here we Morlo.
Yeah, the idea is
Skip forward, spine.
It's
What's
never
this giant guy with smokes.
For most people, it's never a lack of ideas. It's a lack of
Money.
interest and money. Because
What about an entire chorus line? An entire chorus line of altar workers.
Yeah, I think
That'd be
also
good.
Coming out for the last song, and then that's it.
I mean,
And then they go back.
if we're thinking about more realistic terms, like, I just want backing musicians again.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
But at the same time, it's an uphill battle because people want them to be. This is maybe just from what I've heard over the different years of Steam Powered Draft is people, even without seeing our band, when they see pictures and stuff, they just are like, why aren't they as robots? And I'm like, and that's a hard thing to explain because it's like, well, I guess they should be, but do you really want someone in robot makeup who is half-assing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you'd have to find a drummer who wants to do the robot. So
and then it's like, and does that person? What if they're not a comedic? Like to find someone who could do all that, like. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I think it would definitely work, but yeah, I think the thing is like finding someone who actually wants to. I mean, I think now we're kind of in agreement that everyone's going to be kind of a character going forward in a general sense.
But yeah, the robot stuff was always kind of like it. I don't think. Of course, we could probably convince people to do it, but it's not just about putting makeup on and stuff. Like I think there is a line where we have to draw like this person. It doesn't. It's not. There's no amount of. We don't have the money. We don't have the. It's not worth their time. They're literally a drummer and they're literally a guitarist. Yeah. Like anything past that is like, well, that's why we're there is because we might not be the best musicians collectively.
I think going forward, like some of the we probably wouldn't. We might not have that one human unless they're so they can like work with us and stuff. It just depends on who we get. What do we actually want to achieve? Is it worth it? But
and that's a hard thing too to sell. And since we're small enough, the thing for it doesn't really matter to fans if we put on our own shows. We can do whatever we want. We can hire 3 backing musicians if we really want to, and if it works out, fine. But most people that hire us for events, they always just say, "Can we just hire the robots? Why do we have to bring 7 people with us?" And back in the day, why do you have to bring 8, 9 people with us? And like, well, and that's hard to justify when you're like, I see 3 robots. Why do we? And we're like, well, we need our musicians. Like, it's and like, well, I can play acoustic guitar. We can have a bass, but we're missing the rest of the band.
You're putting hang-ups on things you don't have to put hang-ups on. Yeah. We could hire Fred Harmison as the drummer and put him in makeup because we have unlimited money. And here's the
question.
We have that was the question. It was
unlimited money. Let's just build a giant steam powered trap to walk.
That's what I was saying. I was like, we could build automatons to just do the show for us, and we'll be in the back.
We'll have those projections on our face where like faces open up and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's all like
100%.
Yeah.
it's all like
So even within the question, I
meticulously-
somehow worked it around to not going
To
with
the realistic.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like why aren't
realistically a backing musician, but just who that is and what they can bring.
Even that is
gonna differ.
a lot. It's that is one extra person on stage for people like what we've been doing the last few years. That's obviously.
I don't think the
realistic,
engineering. I don't think the engineer like it works, especially when people want to wear their costumes and look like a character. But like they don't, and the backing musicians, it works. I think just with like Mike and everything, just because we kind of started way back in the day, we put him in all our marketing materials because inclusion and stuff. But it makes sense that you probably wouldn't, like it would just confuse. I mean, people would know he's a backing musician, but like. It's like he wasn't a character. He wasn't enough of a character to be like, let's put him in the front. But we did. I don't know. I don't know if that.
I think it's just. I think
matters,
it's just.
But
I mean, people have opinions. It's just more. It's just. I was just mentioning on what I've heard over the years, and that's just maybe because I manage social media with Chelsea and stuff, and it's it's like it's the same thing. Like, why isn't this person makeup? Well, this guy forgot to put his makeup on that day. I hear tons of that over the years, and it's just because they come across a video and there's a backing musician and everyone else. It's like, of course, if you listen to our show when you're watching the show, it makes perfect sense. But you can't. And I'm not saying I don't care. Like people, like of course we'll just do what we want anyways. And who care? And if people don't like it, who cares? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, but because the perfect band of what Steam Fired Brass should be it doesn't matter. We're not gonna get there.
I think it's whatever we want. And right now we probably don't have an answer to that. But there's a lot of different ways to go.
So not for lack of ideas, but I think what we said are all cool ones. Of course we'd want
whatever we can, whatever makes sense, whatever makes.
But
a good
realistically, pyrotechnics would be the last on the list. That's when you're like, okay, we've got tens of thousands of people on this tour. This is
Don't
totally
you shit
worth
on
it.
my idea. You cut it out right now. You give me my pyrotechnics and you move on.
Pyrotechnics are last on the list right after a Tupac hologram.
Yo, Tupac hologram though. We could have Tupac or ABBA. I think ABBA's doing a hologram tour right now.
But
we
yeah.
could be holograms.
But for all those who don't want to dream big and just want another realistic thing, because we like most likely it's going to be the three of us the next time we get back on the stage show because we have to start somewhere after 3 years of not doing it.
Catherine says there seems like there is so much possible with electronic stuff. You don't really need a backing musician. That is true, and we definitely make use of that.
We've done that we did that with Sam and stuff too, right?
We haven't had a drummer in forever, and it's like no one bats an eye. Like it's great to have a live drummer, but
I mean,
it also creates a whole other box of.
We absolutely get feedback on that, and like, oh, I wish you guys had a drummer. You'll hear it at shows every once in a while, but for the most part, we're not the only band who uses backing drums.
Yeah, backing drums, some backing tracks, definitely. Like, of course, we use that. We can't replicate everything with only like 4 people on stage, but it's great. I think I'm excited for the next iteration. With everything we've learned, and with all your guys' feedback. So hopefully, in the near future, we'll be able to mount this show.
There will be a way
we'll have
to
a giant
hear some
Steam
of
Fired Draft
some of
on
your
stage.
favorite songs in some form with people on stage pretending to be robots.
That was a good question. Good question.
Okay. Okay. Next question is from Catherine. Question for all. Besides musical talent, obviously, what do you feel are the most important traits or skills to be successful as a professional musician? Luck. Luck.
Be born into a successful musician family already.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, if you look at a lot of, yep, it's who you know.
Yeah.
Money helps as well.
We're an exception, but definitely I would say it's practice and skill, and talent's great and all, but like you got to put yourself out there. You got to get used to being on stage and improvising and
the question is professional musician. Like if you're just gigging around and going from band to band, like, well, that's a little different than what we're doing, at least for Team Draft wise, but who's to say we're professional musicians just because we're making money off of it?
I must say, creating a culture is a big part of success in bands in general. You look at you can start from the get go. with jazz musicians, and like the way that people dance to that. It's like there was not only music, there was dance with it, or like the Beatles or the Grateful Dead or Steam Power Draft, who has a huge. There's more to just the music. There's also there's just a vibe in the audience, and there's a vibe with the people. I think that stuff goes a long way, no matter what level you're at.
Yeah. I mean the fan bots and the fan characters and how people get into it, as if they're part of the universe and they're enjoying our show, whether they're normal looking people or people dressing up. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I always say like my favorite part, I love performing, but also my favorite part is getting to meet everyone after the show and seeing like everyone's cool outfits or like what they liked, and it's a real joy. Yeah, the culture in the community is pretty amazing, and I think I miss that the most of all for like when we used to tour.
This entire genre is based off of like hair metal. It's like it's just there's 150 different hair metal bands, but they all have the same culture. It's all like tight pants, long hair, no care attitude, boots and cats.
Yeah, I think. It's tough because you can do everything right, but it only. As far as like sustaining something too, I don't know if that's the most important.
You're being
thing.
a professional, I guess, if you're getting paid, but like put yourself out there, and the important thing is to do work. If you want to make soundtracks for video games, start doing that. Find some indie stuff. Like do whatever you can, get the work and the experience under your belt.
Master your instrument, master whatever it is, so that if somebody calls upon you to do some sort of random gig or something like that, like opportunity and luck, that is.
And there's so many talented people out there. So many more talented people than. I mean,
so don't get discouraged. You just got to do your thing.
Then this is no slight against any of us, but there's way more talented people than any of us in the band. Like individually, together, like it has a bearing. We all need some sort of skill to do some of the stuff we do, but for the most part, it's it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of even Steam Powered Draft, like what we might be popular for to some people is not what the band collectively like. We couldn't create what is popular in Steam Powered Draft because it's not. Is anyone in that position where they're like, I know what people like and I'm going to put it out? Like if that was the case, then people would just be knocking it out of the park all the time, and maybe that happens every once in a while. But like even our stuff that people say knocked it out of the park was like, well, back in the day it wasn't. Like there's so many different views on that stuff. So art's subjective, and it's all about it's so much about luck. It's so much about everything coming together. Like even Steam Powered Draft had its own revitalization in a way with the fandom. I mean, it churns over so many different times, and we're small enough that we can see those effects like immediately. Bunny's transition and different members shifting out and stuff. Like there's different eras just because we're growing as people.
Everyone has their own favorite eras too. Even if they haven't experienced them, just from the snapshots of our music catalog, but. And obviously the Honeybee stuff, that specific music video, that Steam Powered Draft to people, and no one's going to convince them any otherwise. Even though for us it's different, and we don't have to go into that. I'm just saying, like, there is a lot of luck. There's a lot of you didn't plan for this, and the stuff you did plan for, and it's the same thing with anything. Like I'll think something is hilarious, and it's like this is the most funniest thing. It's going to do numbers. And then it won't. And then something that I think is terrible will be great. And that's some of that is it's not just because of the content, because if content quality mattered at all, then Honeybee would have been amazing from the get-go. It only got numbers because someone reblogged it months later. Yeah.
I would say almost.
And we were also performing it. We were performing it, so our kind of middling fan base at the time, like it was smaller, so like people would look it up and like like it's like, oh, what's that song they played at that one convention? So I don't know. I remember that's when it kind of started. Like people would be like, what's this song? Do you have a recording of it? No. We're going to though. And then we made it. And but I think for any artist, whether you're professional or not, you got to enjoy what you do. You got to enjoy the craft, because you're going to spend much more time in front of your studio, playing music and singing and coming up with stuff. Like,
and I mean,
love the creative process.
Being on stage, playing and stuff, all that's fun too. But for like most bands, I mean, even then when there's not a pandemic or something, like of course there's the time where you need to have chemistry with the people, and it's not just about that one music video shoot that made us all look good or something, like it's about the rest of it, because if you can't sustain that, and that's obviously like you can learn that over working with people that aren't great, or like conflict and stuff, but like there's no perfect way to do it. Everyone's gonna have conflict, even the best of people do. So I don't know. That's the thing that matters to me, because if it was all about art and stuff, then why would we be in a band? Yeah. Like we would just all be individually making art because it was great. Like
unfortunately, success ain't guaranteed, But we live in a time where you're not out for the count just because you're an artist or a musician or a creator, a writer. You can grow your own micro community like we have.
Yeah, and that's like. Even if back in the day, it's almost like there was less of an opportunity to get recognized, whereas now there is. And that's not to say that there weren't outlets back then, but the outlets we have today make it so everyone can do what they want. Basically, they can do it poorly, they can do it well, they can get no recognition, they can get too much recognition for crap. It's us included. Like
it's a roll of the dice. It's a crapshoot. So, but I would say like if you're starting to create stuff, like show your friends, show your family, get them, if you're a streamer, get them to show up on your stream. If you're a musician, send your stuff to your close relatives and stuff. Like,
and we didn't start out like with most of this stuff. Like things have changed since we started. So like, I wouldn't say that we're adapting everything. Like we're not having concerts on Twitch all the time. I don't know how you'd make money off of that, but like most musicians and bands are still going a very specific route and hoping for a record company. Even some indie ones, it's like when you want to take that next step, like you're going to be a gamble for a company maybe, or you're not, and you're going to be something like us where you're relying on patrons and stuff to keep it going.
But we've been doing this for so long, and we have never gotten approached by a record company. Not once. Not once. And if you see some of our success and stuff, it's like, well, there should be someone out there interested, but the record industry itself is kind of the music industry is very different these days.
They're not looking for people. They've got the people they need and have their own direction with.
If we like blow up like huge, like
we might get. I mean, all we have to be
maybe we'll get some concert.
If we become viral in any way, maybe we would get hired to do some weird music video one time, and we would have opportunities. And if we played our cards right, we might have a Montero or something on our hands. But we're not going to have. That's not going to happen. We didn't make a viral thing. We're not gaming the system in a way that's looking for social media numbers, even though we do our best to make sure that we're still putting stuff out there. But even our TikToks that go viral are still very small compared to, other stuff. Like compared to people who are just, it's such weird. TikTok, YouTube, it all is. You just got to put stuff out there and hope that it gets. You find your people that want to see more of that, basically.
Well, hopefully this is giving you a little bit of
basically don't do it,
and also a little bit of inspiration.
Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself.
I think at the you got to develop skills, but you got to do it for yourself.
Yeah, because you don't know if fans will be there. You don't know if like you're not going to have a show.
And if you're constantly worried about that, you're not really thinking about the stuff you're creating. And like it's much better, I think, to have a great piece of art that no one can see. Yeah. And something you're trying to like play the system. And if you really want to play the system, it's not hard, but it's not what you're going to want to do. Like there's specific formulas to get big on YouTube and stuff. It's just none of that sounds appealing to me or the band, and it's not our content, like. So it's like if you're really just about like fame and wanting to make it a career, you gotta kind of like suck your soul out a little bit. I think that's just my perspective.
And plus, things change so quickly. There's no rhyme or reason to what is going to be the next thing. Like no one could tell us what we needed to be doing back when we started Steam Powered Giraffe. We just kind of went with what we thought we needed to do. And when we came up with the engineer tier program, we thought, oh, what a novel idea. And then we saw some other people doing similar things, and that's turned. Eventually, we did go over to Patreon, but we started that whole have fans help us out. Early on, like a lot of people did, and once a platform that became more popular, it's like, well, let's kind of like just move our stuff over there because it only makes sense to go with what's popular. So we're not ahead of anything. But we did run our engineer tier site for quite a number of years before Patreon showed up. So, and even then we still kept it open. It's still open to this day, and it still gets the base content, just for the people who are over there, which might be 0 people. I might be updating content for no one, but no, there are people who like still re-up their subscriptions and stuff. So there are people who are supporting us, whether or not they keep up with.
I think some people there's kind of like a movement going back to like sort of the old internet feel. You know what I mean? And I think the engineer tier site is kind of a perfect kind of. It's just a little bit more bare bones, so it kind of feels like an ancient relic. Not really though, but. You know what I mean?
Sure do.
Let's get through these next few questions. Alistair asks, out of genuine curiosity, were there any Persona's characters' details that were considered before the Spine, Rabbit, and Zero were set in stone? And if so, why were they altered or dropped? I think we've said this before about Zero's character, because we always start with like a base idea, I suppose, even with Sam and Hatchworth. But like that's just pretty much figuring out a character. Bunny and I figured out Spine and Rabbit just doing it, and seeing what came naturally with improv. And then when we first started Steam Powered Giraffe in Balboa Park, so we didn't really. I don't think we didn't have a conscious thought collectively about those characters. It was just what we brought to the table. And even if you see old Balboa Park footage, you can kind of see we're like proto versions of those characters, Yeah.
And I think we wrote a lot of bits and stuff which helped because. We all have our own sense of humor, and definitely when you're going out in front of people,
nice to have.
You default, you default to kind of what you're comfortable with, anyways. So like that's where Rabbit came from. Is that she's my comfort kind of character. Like she's easy because it's just this character I've had in my head since forever. Like it's just me, but like ratcheted up a few tiers. So I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but like. I feel like early on, like the only thing I was thinking of is oh my god, I'm terrified. This is huge. This is big. Like I have to be out in front of it, people. So my default was sort of whatever, just the Rabbit personality, whatever that.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think it's for most people too. And of course, Bryan has a unique position of coming into some already established stuff. But there were ideas we were throwing around. With Zero being the cool robot.
Yeah, the cool one. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew it was a terrible idea.
But it turned into this is what Bryan did with improv when back in the day too.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a different character.
it's just trying to find the. I mean, there's already such a good dynamic on stage, so being able to find something that's not it's not the straight man, it's not the it's not the wacky. It can be wacky, and it can be. I base it off of Larry from the Three Stooges because he's as smart or as dumb as you need him to be for every moment, but he's just as confident as in his dumbness as he's in his smartness, and he's always right. And he could be on either side. So,
but let's just take this through a little exercise. What if Zero was the cool one? Let's do a little improvised bit and just like why it wouldn't work for one thing, and it would only be funny because it's coming up. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Spine here, and over here we have Rabbit.
Hi, it's me, Rabbit, and I want to introduce to you, fine fellows, old friend, new to the stage. It's Zero, the robot.
What's up, everybody? It's Zero. I'm up here with these two nerds. I apologize for anything they have to say up here, but we're going to keep it real cool over here. Ain't that right, everybody?
Yeah, real cool. Real cool,
Do you want to
Zero.
play my slide whistle?
No, that sounds stupid.
Do you want to taste my chili?
No, that sounds stupid.
Do you want to sing a song with Gigi the giraffe?
No, that sounds stupid.
How about this? Old classic pie in the face bit. Do you want to throw the pie or do you want to take the pie?
I'll throw the pie.
I don't know, Zero. That's not very cool of you.
Shut up, nerd. All right, let's get this party started.
Let's pick off these sunglasses, Zero, and see your beautiful eyes.
I can't.
You're turning.
My eyes are red.
You're slowly turning into regular Zero.
Wasn't one of the things was like, there's going to be like a Zero every time there was going to be like a Zero moment anytime like he did something and he would like MC hammer dance across the stage. It's Zero time. I remember something like that.
That's a bit that's coming up. It's not.
I'm trying to remember when we were workshopping this. It was like, he's the cool. He's the cool.
One of the
robot.
first ideas was Blue Spine says there was a rumor that Zero was supposed to have 3 personalities. That was one of the working ideas, and that he was like 3 robots put together.
Yeah.
We kind of I think we kind of scrapped that a little bit, because I mean it was a cool concept, but like what if 3 personalities or.
Yeah, because it's one of those things like what works on stage, what works in a group comedic. Like there's tropes for a reason, you know. Like that's not it's not that you couldn't write an episode or of a cartoon around that or a character of that. But on a stage show, it's like it would change the whole dynamic of how do you write for this 1 hour and a half show. Where it's not the big picture is this person, because you have to first establish this. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just it changes the dynamic of our interactions and stuff to a degree where it doesn't.
If he had 3 personalities, the show would be so much longer. It would be so much longer because I'd be talking to myself.
I don't even know.
I got back to you. You would have to figure out which version you were talking to.
If you didn't, it would just come off as confusing, and you'd be like, "What is he doing? Why is he changing voices every?"
So it's not.
Well, now that we've all seen Moon Knight,
yeah, but that took like what 6 episodes, or at least 3 or 4 to explain what was happening.
but the aesthetic kind of played a part in the costume. So that's what's like left over, the chain and all the asymmetrical look and stuff. So Zero's kind of become the asymmetrical robot in a sense,
and for
asymmetrical junkyard, scrapyard kind of. But he's not junky like Rabbit.
That's what I wanted my name to be, but we scrapped
Scrapyard.
Like the G.I. Joe, you know. He's got the dog. He's so cool. Anyways.
I don't know. I don't even know if we even floated the idea of multiple personalities. I think it was just kind of
It was just 3 robots.
It was just 3 robots. So we never even went down that thought path of. But we were just commenting on it now.
We have an art piece where it shows that he was 3 robots put together into a single.
But we never
robot.
studied it was 3 people.
No.
Different personalities. That was someone who.
I don't think that was ever going to be a thing. It's just that he was 3 robots put together to create this.
Yeah, that was just a comment.
There was no more like metal left or something like that. So
I think like in some of the early costume designs, he had like parts of the robot on him, like you could see like bits of a face or something. It was more for the aesthetic, but
but just for the record, that we were just answering a question that someone asked about 3 personalities, but so incorrect. We did not have Zero ever as the idea of 3 personalities.
But that's where it came from, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's probably why you asked that question.
Yeah, I think we have a post in the Engineer Tier site. So but those weird kind of concepts and stuff. I think every time we're like, we're introducing a new robot, you want to kind of give them I don't want to know if a bit, but like I guess the aesthetics helped in the beginning, just like when we were designing Hatchworth, like that bowler hat and the glasses and the mustache and the steam stack just like really like hit it. Like that was good. And then he had like the kind of Beatles Black Parade jacket on, and then Zero's we were going to give him a hat too. We were going to give him like what kind of hat we were going to give him?
A big old zoot suit hat. Big boy.
Yeah, they were going to do like
it's like these suckers, right?
Not a bowler, but it was like I can't remember. David knows. He has one.
I don't know hats very well. I know Red Dead Redemption hats, so we can talk
like
about those
a Homburg or something.
Like the stalker,
Homburg,
like the stalker hat. I'd like that one a lot, but it wouldn't.
The zoot suit hat would be cool. You did have like a zoot suit look for some of the concept art with like a big jacket and the big chain hanging down.
Yeah,
with like some drop pants, and it was cool. It was, but
costumes always go the way of practicality when you're on stage.
Heavy and hot.
Yeah,
have a whole zoot suit on.
Shut up, nerds. What's the next question?
Here's one. Jesse, for whoever has the answer, when is Gigi's birthday, and do you give her presents?
No.
Golly.
I don't think there's canonically a date that we've set for Gigi's birthday.
I think
maybe
if we ask the robots, they would know.
Save that for something.
In her head, she doesn't have a birthday.
That's the Christmas special.
She's always been here.
Like, well, you've had a birthday, and I haven't had one ever. Gigi's classic voice.
Please, won't someone give me.
Oh, look,
a
everyone! Zero's
birthday.
juggling. Let's turn the camera over there.
I was gonna sing my song.
You can sing it over there.
I can only juggle one ball.
Oh, please, my birthday.
Could you make it about juggling, Gigi?
Hey, shut up, nerd! No one cares about your birthday.
We'll be back to the steam-powered giraffe
Well, it's
Christmas
also
special.
that, like, do the robots individually have birthdays, like to the hour, like where we built, like who was powered on first? You know, that kind of thing is like, I don't think we get into that kind of lore because
I
we
think
just say we
Rabbit
have an
was powered on
anniversary
first.
as far as lore goes.
Rabbit was the first one. She's the oldest.
But we have but we don't have the. We always just celebrate the anniversary of the actual band and make that kind of coincide with the lore because it's just easier for people to remember. But we don't.
But that sounds like
individually-
another great cartoon episode.
It sounds
the
like
robots' birthdays.
every
They want
robot needs
birthdays.
to know when were they turned on. And
January 22nd, 2008 is the official, in real life, anniversary of Steam Powered Giraffe.
Yeah.
So you could celebrate the robots' birthdays then.
Happy birthday to the band collectively. But yeah, why don't the characters? Why don't well, they don't have birthdays because they're robots, and it makes it a little more difficult to figure that out. And we could set it, of course, but we haven't because
They were. I
haven't been.
always thought they were AIs before they were. They were like floating.
Well, there's no lore.
Consciousness
There's no lore
in it.
saying it other than Rabbit is the first one turned on. So if that's something
Yeah.
we pursue in the future, then someday we will have birthday.
It
dates.
has no bearing. Just because she's the
Yeah.
first one doesn't mean anything. It's just it's just the order that it came. Because she was the junkier looking one.
So to answer your question, no, Gigi doesn't have a birthday. Which I know, which there's probably some mega fans out there like, how do you create a character and not give him a birthday? I'm like, really easy, really easy.
You name it Gigi, and then you don't have to worry about anything else.
Alicia, what is everyone's favorite condiment?
Mustard?
Man, I would say mustard, but then mustard doesn't work on some things, and I'd say
Oh.
ketchup, but ketchup doesn't work on some things.
Hoisin sauce?
Red Robin's campfire mayo. Not good on everything, but it's pretty good.
I would say, man, it's a half toss up between mustard and ketchup because man,
Honey mustard.
Oh.
Honey mustard that's more honey than mustard. That's my favorite kind of honey mustard.
Yeah, I'm going with mustard.
It does. I feel like mustard does. If I had to put everything out on a table
Yeah.
that you can put mustard and ketchup on, I think mustard would win. It goes better with most things.
Also, the mustard seed, the mustard plant is like the basis of all the vegetables that we eat today. So it's like the cornerstone of humanity. Mustard. So mustard.
Wow.
Plus, it's 0 calories.
Is it mustard? Wow.
It's about 0 calories. Yeah.
Hey, this is Zero from Steam Powered Giraffe. You know what else has 0 calories? Mustard.
Speaking of mustard, your dinosaur thing went up yesterday.
Oh, I saw it.
When I fed it mustard?
Yeah.
my condiment choice is always going to be. There's all sorts of condiments in there I could have chosen, but mustard was right there.
Where do we write
Always.
these bits? Well, I
most
wrote it as
universal-
I was opening the refrigerator door.
Recognizable.
That's what Brian said.
Do we have any more questions, or do we finish
Yes,
them all
no,
up?
no, we have 4 more.
Oh, we should
Let's time with this out.
pick it up, huh?
These
Yeah,
next ones we're just gonna
podcast
rush
goes
right through.
2 hours.
We're not gonna we're gonna answer them partly. We're just gonna rush right through. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna give them the same as attention as we did all the other questions.
My answer for this one is mustard as well. I don't know what the question is, but let's just put mustard forward first.
I can't tell if my joke's coming across.
Probably not to some people, but to other people, yes. I'm sure.
Okay, it's a joke. I need to put a sarcasm. From Dylan. Years ago, in a Bennettarium, you mentioned having more Hatchworth footage that would eventually be used in a video. What ever amounted from that? Was it ever used?
I think we did actually. Are we
It
talking
was-
about the 10-year anniversary one or no?
No, I think
no. It was one of your shows. What, like the Hatchworth's last show, right? Wasn't that what it was?
no.
No.
I mean, they all saw that. That was put up on Patreon and stuff. I believe what
but-
they're referring to, and I don't know how old this one is, but when I saw the question, I was like, it's probably this time when we filmed some green screen with Sam for some music video. I came over to his place and did it years ago. But when we did that, I filmed an extra thing where it was just him on a green screen, and I was like, and it was kind of going hand in hand with when Bunny filmed Rabbit doing a bunch of memes, reaction GIFs and stuff, and he didn't want to do that, and he was like, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, how about just do this, and then we can tell people, like, Photoshop Patchworth onto a horse's body, like to make him like a centaur. And I'm like, okay, whatever you want. And so he did that, and we have never used it, but it's just him
we
on
still
green
have it?
screen, and we're just gonna
That's
get.
so-
We could just have a random video pop up on our YouTube where it's just Hatchworth out of the centaur, and he's like, oh. "What has Hatchworth been up to?"
But I don't think there was any like, you know, I don't think there was any scripted dialogue or anything. It was just him kind of like improvising. But it was funny for like a second. But like, honestly, I don't know what music video we were shooting with at the time. The footage is there somewhere. I definitely downloaded it, but from whatever camera we were using. But I don't remember what we were shooting that instance. So that's most likely the footage you're referring to, because I feel like I've talked about it on Bennettarium before. If that's not
People want to
what
see it on
is,
Patreon. Maybe we'll put it up on Patreon sometime.
Maybe, but I'm the only one that could find it. So if I find time, maybe.
But if you want to see
Put it on the
of
list of
Hatchworth's-
things that I have to get done.
If you want to see one of Hatchworth's last performances as Hatchworth, you could definitely check out the 10-year anniversary show. We also have some footage that we played when Bryan was coming in to kind of like transition people. You remember that one?
Yeah, and it's on Patreon too if you want to watch it.
So you can check that out on Patreon. Yeah, I know you're referencing that one.
I mean, we could put all that stuff on Patreon. We could put people in the chat. It should come to Patreon, in my opinion. I'm like, well, yeah, of course. I just had to find time. Like, cool. But I don't even know where to begin looking. Like, it's a video with Hatchworth, and I could just go through all the footage and try to find. I know I saved the video because I downloaded it all.
What were you filming at that time?
But we didn't do anything with it, probably because maybe it probably wasn't anything special, you know. In fact, Spine also has a video that I never did anything with for the same reason, except mine was a reaction GIF thing too, but it was Spine saying no to everything. I don't know if that's funny, but it was in the vein of Rabbit's reaction GIF YouTube video,
and we took that down because the backlash was.
Was it? Did we?
Yeah, people said this is not funny, and I'm like,
I don't remember.
Sometimes the humor is just too.
There was
not apparent.
There's definitely
people didn't get it.
GIFs and GIFs.
There's GIFs of it, but we deleted it because it's just like this isn't funny. That's what I just kept saying. I'm like, it wasn't really. I mean, you know, bad ideas. You know, not all of them are great. Got a bunch of reaction GIFs from it though.
Yeah, and that was the idea, I suppose. Because the thing was, you can't just make a video of and have people make reaction GIFs. I'm like, well, we did, and that was the joke. That was the joke.
I guess I should have made it more funny.
But that's the thing with most Steam Powered Draft stuff is we thinking something is kind of hilarious, but then but only because we're in the band. You know, I think that's where. So we misstepped. It was our fault.
You know what? Look, the crux of comedy is if you think it's funny, it doesn't really matter or whatever.
Yeah.
You try to think of what
we're not better. Our humor's not better than anyone
I don't
else.
think it was particularly funny enough, and I don't think I don't think I would ever come up with that idea again.
But once again, it was we were just that. So that's what that not used Hatchworth.
It was also just I think it was I was shooting something else, and it was just something I did to try to create more content, and then it turned into that. And
it was before TikTok. We weren't making short form videos much. If I find any of those videos,
all right, 3 more questions. We can do this.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
From Lexi, what's everyone's favorite fruits? I know Brian's.
Well, it's a mango.
What? I thought you said it was Granny Smith apples.
Yeah, I like Granny Smith apples, but my favorite fruit. Here's the thing: favorite mainland fruit, peach. Favorite all around fruit, mango. They're both delicious, but they can be hit or miss, and you can't get them all year round. So that's not my favorite treat because I can only have mangoes during mango season and peach during peach season. But those are my favorite fruits.
I like honeydew and cantaloupe.
Ooh, wow, interesting.
I like avocado.
Oh, boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, avocado.
But I'll take mango and peach.
But I'll say banana because banana's pretty bland enough that it can work in so many moods.
Hey yo, David. You know my mom has an avocado tree, right? I'm gonna get you some of the best avocados.
Now, don't listen to him when he talks about trees because they're all mostly blatant lies.
Oh, right. Last podcast.
Hey yo, David. You know I've got 12 mango trees in my backyard. Right? You want mangoes? I got you. Don't worry.
Pennyx also have an avocado tree. It's not that it only
Is
comes
it the
up
best avocados you ever tasted though?
It's better than store bought for sure, but it only doesn't make too money a year these days.
Well, they switch off seasons. Sometimes they have a season of plenty and a season of not so plenty. So could be just off season. Anyways,
well, talk to me on off season. I mean,
during real season.
On real season. You'll be too busy picking avocados to talk to me.
This is summer. That's what I'm doing. Avocados and peaches and mangoes. What I have.
2 more questions. Blue Spine. What is a song y'all don't get to perform often, but wish y'all could perform more often? All of them. Every single
all of
one
them.
at this point. No, that's the obvious joke.
Ghost Grinder, Mecto More,
I'll take Honeybee at this point.
Eat Your Heart. Actually, yeah, everything pretty much. Like, I'll do anything. I just want
I
to
feel like
perform.
we've played Honeybee in the last few years more than any other song. Obviously, rehearsals and that one.
I'd
Not
still
live
be.
on stage. No.
I'd anything really, but yeah. There's just some songs that just we don't fit into the set for one reason or any other.
Well, because we only have an hour and a half and we have to fit
Yeah.
a certain amount of songs.
There's a lot of fun ones.
But also, that's it's
We'll never do Ghost Spine Go again, huh? And until
that's fine with me.
there was that goes up to a show.
It was a song. It was. I enjoyed.
We got to make a new one
doing
where we're
much,
picking
but-
on Spine about.
But it's a very
something.
much like. I can't imagine playing that song in any capacity in the same frequency of like something like Honeybee or Clockwork because
No.
because if you've seen the show once, then you're
Play
like
the poop
I
song.
don't wanna- the problem with bit songs is unless they're short, it's 5 minutes of your show you're not getting back.
That was 5 minutes of a poop joke. I mean, we did,
Yeah.
and we toured that for a while.
But in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't like we did it for like 2 years straight or something. But still, it felt long even with the.
It's a long song. It really is a long song.
It deserves the one run of the tour and then to be put into the archives forever.
But I mean, it's not to say but we are the type of band that would do that in the first place. So it's just even for us, it gets old, I suppose. And we have new songs we want to play.
It probably should have been a little slightly slower song, but it's funny, or not slower, but shorter.
Yeah, but
It's pretty slow too. But
last question. Glub. Which singer, and this one came in as we were doing the podcast. I can see the time. It was in that first half hour where we hadn't started the podcast quite. Glub asks, which singer / music band do you listen to the most lately?
I mean,
the chat's still laughing about poop jokes. Gosh, I had to think about this.
I've been listening to the Kendrick Lamar album.
Ah,
It's pretty incredible. It's depressing and sad and, and introspective, and it's a very special album in general. But that's probably not for any Steve Roger fan who would really enjoy it, but that's what I've been listening.
I've been listening to a lot of random indie stuff. I couldn't even tell you if there's like a genre. It's just a lot of random stuff. It's all chaotic right now in my brain.
does the Goof Troop theme song count? I definitely had I definitely had a stint. I wasn't listening to them like as for like music, but oh wait, did I can't remember if I talked about this already. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of Regina Spektor's new stuff. Her album's not out, but she released like
is it
2
good?
songs from it. Yeah, I mean, if you
I
like
love
Regina Spektor, I mean, it
love
sounds
it,
like
yeah.
Regina Spektor. Without getting delving into it, but I can't remember if I talked about it, but I listened to the Parcels. Not the Parcels. They're just called Parcels. So they're like an Australian band, and I think I talked about this before. But anyways, one good song that you all should go. I think I posted it for patrons too because I was like, hey, go check out these people. But just for the internet out there, you should all go listen to Tied Up Right Now, and that's all one word. That's how they did their album. All their titles, all the tracks listed are all squished together. So Tied Up Right Now, all one word. And I think that's one of their more popular ones off this album.
Cool.
And then you should go see their oh shoot, no, it started playing a song. I don't know how to describe it. It's like they're mixing 70s sounds with synth, and they got some harmonies going on there. Very light vocals. And so check out their cover of what's that one song? Na 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 na.
Caught in a Bad Romance?
No, it's the other one.
La 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 la. That one?
Shoot, I'm not gonna look it up now because we'll just take the rest of the podcast. But that's it's the one where. Shoot,
No,
what
I
are the
don't
lyrics?
know. If we did, we wouldn't
Can't
be
get you out of.
asking.
I just can't get you out of my head, boy. It's a something I think about. I just can't get you out of my head. That band and my nigga now. La 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 la.
Everybody caught in a
Okay.
bedroom.
Anyways,
La 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 la. La 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 la.
So yeah, their cover is done with this German guy with a super deep voice, and I really like it. It's one of those songs I'm like, this should be more popular than it is. It's really popular, don't get me wrong. It blows Honeybee out of the water numbers wise on YouTube. But it's like, I'm like, how is this not, this should be like everyone's favorite song. But I guess that's the problem. You know, the other day, and this is how we're gonna end the podcast, I was like, okay, Peniacs, have you ever heard the the Goof Troop theme song? Because it's really good. And they're like, oh, that wasn't anything memorable. And I was just like, so that's how you know. That's how you know music's subjective is because I said, oh, I've had this song stuck in my head. I'm like, I don't know. It's not really. This was Camille, by the way. If we we're gonna point fingers, like she said, it wasn't like there's nothing really catchy about it. I'm like, and then I'm like, and my brain immediately goes to all the music that she likes, and I'm like, okay, and we'll just stop.
Catherine recognized the theme, Banana Splits, and now I can share this lovely bit of trivia with you. The Banana Splits was like a show in the 70s with big, goofy-looking mascot costumes, and they were kind of like a band. The rights went out, or the rights were bought up, and they made a horror movie with all the characters.
Weird. It's weird.
I never saw it, but it looked really...
Did you watch Wally's Wacky World or whatever with Nick Cage?
Heck no.
They're the same movie. They're the same movie essentially.
Yeah, it's basically a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of. That's what they turned the Banana Splits into. It's weird enough, and if you're a fan of the show, I think I haven't seen it, but I've seen like clips.
It just feels like it's probably better. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's cash in both of those movies.
Pretty much, yeah.
But
Wally's Wonderland. Or
I feel like the
whatever, and-
Banana Splits one is definitely got better critic ratings than the Nicolas.
Yeah,
Cage.
it's more creative and stuff too. It doesn't look like something that was just kind of
Thrown together
out to make a buck.
Yeah.
Well, none of them have anything on the Tailspin theme.
That too.
Life is
yeah.
like a hurricane. It's wait, that's DuckTales.
For a second I was like, oh yeah, that's the song. No.
Tailspin. What is Tailspin?
Wait, no, you were singing. No, that was DuckTales. You're right. Wait, no.
It was DuckTales.
Wait, isn't DuckTales and isn't this the
Oh,
same show?
No, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I watched more. Tailspin
What if
in my
Jungle
head.
Book, but airplanes?
And
That's what Tailspin is.
yeah, she's
how they
100%
pitched
what it is. They're like, oh yeah, they just moved up to Cloud City from the jungle. Oh, they fly plane. Like, wait, what? Why does he have a jacket on? I don't know. Where's Mowgli?
Yeah, where is Mowgli?
Not there.
I do remember being confused slightly when I was a kid, being like, "Oh, so this is before he got his airplane."
Yeah, and it's also
Jungle Book.
they're also like detectives or something like that. Like I don't know if they're solving mysteries. I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah, they're solving mysteries up in the sky.
they're doing something like that. Or the delivery people. I don't know. I gotta watch Salesman again.
All I know is that we had like a toy for McDonald's or something, and
Oh yeah, I had those for sure.
that's all I cared about was the toys.
But
and
we're talking
airplanes.
about old Saturday morning cartoon shows on Disney,
Yeah.
or ABC or whatever they were. You should also check out the theme song to Bonkers.
Oh yes, yes.
I feel like we were just talking about this the other day. Maybe it was
We
Bryan.
were for sure because I watched the episode of Bonkers after that.
Once upon a time in Toontown. It has a long. It says the whole story in the theme song, and it uses every cliche in that kind of genre of music, whatever you would call it. I don't even know how to put it, but when you watch it, you're gonna have this memory. You're gonna be like, I remember watching this, but I don't remember ever watching it.
So Bonkers is technically like in the Roger Rabbit universe, right?
Yeah,
Because he lives in
basically.
Toontown.
And then it has the Kids WB announcer as his detective
yeah,
partner.
which is it's just very funny to me. I don't know.
He was a famous.
cool, though.
He's like a
It's
cat,
fun.
I guess, but he's not a cat. He's one of those weird cartoon cats that's like, oh, he's an alien.
Wait, it's
cat.
not Jim Cummings, is it? No.
I don't know who's the voice of.
I've been
Bonkers.
saying it's the Kids WB announcer for years, and I've never actually known.
Let me look up Bonkers and see what he was.
No, that was a
was
That wasn't. That's not the voice actor for that guy, anyways. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a very well liked show. Like,
Yeah, it's Jim. Oh, Jim Cummings. Yeah, he plays. Oh no, he plays Bonkers. Never mind. He plays Bonkers. Wow, Jim Cummings.
You can probably imagine he kind of has that raspy voice, not Bobcat Goldthwait.
I'm
voice,
looking.
but kind of like
fall apart rabbit. No, that's Clumsy Best Friend. Fawn Deer. No, Detective Lucky Shirley Peakle. He's a police detective in Bonkers. Yeah, he voices both characters.
Wow, he talked to himself.
He talks to himself.
I didn't know that.
I talk to
That
myself.
makes it a cheaper show. I don't know.
Jim Cummings.
Pays
You don't
me
know who
money.
Jim- If you don't know who Jim Cummings is, well, he's Darkwing Duck, Winnie the Pooh. He's that one Firefly from Princess and the Frog. He's a good singer. He's pretty talented. He's in a lot of stuff.
Catherine
He's
in the
like
chat's like, isn't everyone Jim Cummings? I'm like, I guess you're right. Now that we're listening, to all
Tigger
these
is Jim
things.
Cummings. Everyone is Jim Cummings. He's in almost every single.
It's either
Thing
Jim
you-
Cummings or Tom Kenny.
Jim Cummings.
Isn't he also in Skyrim?
It's Tom Kenny or Jim Cummings?
Jim Cummings.
They might both be.
Pretty-
Oh, who's the guy? Who's Stimpy? Stimpy's he's in a
West.
lot.
Billy West.
Fry, Billy West. Yeah, he's in everything too. Like,
What a nice, sweet individual.
Well, this was a long podcast. I think that's all the questions, by the way.
Great.
You never
Good
have
job,
to do any
everybody.
more ever again. No, that's basically what the podcast is now. Is let's get through all these questions, which is fine. We don't have much else to talk about. People are probably wondering when are we performing on stage again, and when's our next album coming out. All these things we can't talk about. We can talk about them. When's our next album coming out? I don't know. That makes it sound like we don't have plans.
You
But
cut it out, all right? You cut it out. You stop it right now. You stop it right there. You.
you're right. Well, leave them wanting more. Leave them wanting more. 3 years is not long enough to wait. No, I'm just kidding. We just came out with a new album at the end of 2020. So,
but we had a great time here on the Bennettarium, and I hope you all did too.
Thanks for watching us. Thanks for our patrons for supporting us and giving us content in the form of questions that we can answer.
What's our next thing coming up here?
Well, we're going to be headed into June.
Oh, June.
This next podcast will probably be in July.
Wow.
See you in the summer. Well, it'll be nice.
I don't think we can talk about anything. What's coming up? Probably some new songs in the next few months, probably.
I've got a question for everybody. How much do you think we're going to talk about how hot it is in July? Like, is it going to be like a 15-minute like spur of us talking about how hot it is, or
kinda
like
hot
are we just
right
like,
now.
oh, it's hot, and we forget about it?
It's kind of hot right now, to be honest.
No, I'm saying, like, I mean, we talked about it a little bit right now, and it's not even that hot. I'm saying in July though, woo, we'll be talking about it. So tune in next time. Talk about how hot
We'll
it
just
is.
be like, no Bennettarium questions. We already know what we're talking about.
All right, let's try to sing this again, but this time we'll start with Brian, and you have to say every 2 words.
Oh, no.
What?
That's a lot of math.
Well, I'm sorry. I know you're a bunch of losers.
Shut up, nerds.
You're all a bunch of witch babies.
Hey, don't call me no witch baby. No.
A witch baby?
Well, you know what I want. There's yes. Don't think
Is
it.
that an old,
No, it's because I'm being PG.
A witch? Oh, because it's like a baby witch would be. Okay. I get
No,
it.
I don't know what you're thinking. But
I get it too. I just got it now too, buddy. That you said that. I got it too.
I don't know.
I can't believe
Wait,
it.
now we have to talk through.
What
this
is a
thing.
baby? What is a baby witch called? Oh, what?
Anyway,
I don't know if you have to after this.
don't.
We'll say it after the podcast.
You said witch baby. I'm pretty
he
sure.
Sure did. He sure did.
Okay.
All right, let's do this.
It was
A podcast.
From Steam,
Howard Giraffe.
It was
the Bennettarium.
Oh boy,
we had.
A lot of
steak.
That was way too many
And-
words. Eggs
today.
for
Today, cause
It's the
Bennettarium. Oh
boy, wow. Let's.
no, you did too many.
it's the
Bennettarium and
It's ending.
now, please.
Okay. That one was a little more hard to
Two words.
endure.
No. It was hard for some people.
All I said was, okay, is a lot one word or two? Because I think that one's debatable.
Well, I don't know. How do you spell it? You tell me. Then I'll tell you how
It's not
many.
a lot.
A-L-O-T, or is it A space?
That's what I'm saying. Which way is the right way?
Well, you tell me how you spell it.
Well, in
and I'll
that
tell you
sentence,
what
I put a space in between. I didn't put a space between A and that, I don't know
That's
if that's
wrong.
is that not a
We're
word?
gonna need an English teacher to help us with our grammar.
And the second time, that was because because Bryan didn't go, and I was worried that I hadn't said 2 words, even though I already said 2 words.
Join us in summer
So I said
where
3
you'll be
Technically, it was
singing
Brian's fault.
the theme song.
So next time it'll be 2.5 words. It was.
We'll sing it backwards.
Bennettarium was it?
Wait, the structure's going forward, but the words are. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean.
the words go forward, but the structure goes
Every
back.
2 words are flipped.
All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful weekend. It's so nice to see y'all. Wait, is it the weekend yet?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Well, y'all have a great week.
Just because you say it's the weekend doesn't mean it's over. It's the week's done.
I was
just got
happy
off-
for like a split second. I was like,
But I'll
maybe
be
for
honest.
another week.
This week does feel like it's already been a week. It's been 7 days. It's only been 2.
We've done so much in the last 24 hours. I didn't even know what time it was. But y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much for your patronage and your support. Hope you had a good laugh today with us. And we'll see you next time.
In July. And
It's gonna be hot.
Well, some of you will see us in June for
Patreon stuff, sure.
for Patreon stuff. There's other
Rehearsal
stuff
live
going on.
streams if we're advertising what the Patreon is.
Yeah, and our chatty
Voice chat
voice chats.
with patrons, and those are exclusive primo tier items. Okay, anyways, if I say end now and it's ending as I press this button in 30 seconds after it.